I think that economic growth is accelerating, and, you know, if you want to make a case for a Fed taper, you know, this month, I mean, in fact, Wednesday, there's a decent argument for it. I think, though, first of all, I am a taper fan. I think the Fed does need to move to the sidelines. Whether they do it in December ahead of the Christmas selling season and right in front of year end, probably not. I think it's a little too messy right now.
Well, okay, maybe not. But when you look at this thing, I don't know. Dan Clifton, it sort of felt to me today, I may be dead wrong, that all these good numbers, all right, it was a close call for the taper in September, right? Close call. Since that time, you've had better retail sales, better industrial production, better ISMs, better jobs, better GDP, you know, pretty much better everything. So the market's message to me today, may only be one day, is that go ahead, slow down your bond purchases. In effect, it's a de facto tightening. And we're okay with it because it's just part and parcel of a strong economy. Now, that makes some intuitive sense, does it?
That's exactly right, Larry. The economy is getting stronger, so that's a reason to taper. But if you go back to Ben Bernanke's non-taper press conference, he also referenced two other facts of why they weren't tapering. The first was that there was a series of government shutdown, a government budget catalyst, and the second was that there was going to be a large fiscal drag in 2014. We've removed both of those hurdles, particularly if the Senate passes this bill tomorrow, because you're reducing the fiscal drag to near zero in 2014, and you're kicking fiscal policy out for another 2 years. So not only do you have an improving fiscal situation, you have an improving political situation, and we're moving to policy normalization, both on the fiscal policy side and both on the monetary policy side.
That's pretty bullish. Larry, that's pretty bullish. Let me bring in Bob McTeer, former CEO of the Dallas Federal Reserve and a wise man in general terms. Bob McTeer, can the Fed slow down their bond buys? Can they taper? Is the economy strong enough?
Yes, I think so, and I think they need to quit teasing us about it and having a stock market reaction every few weeks. 85 billion is an arbitrary number to begin with. If it were 60 or 50, it wouldn't make much difference, and it wouldn't be that much of a tightening, and it would be a sign that we have confidence in the economy. I think it's time.
Bob McTeer, who was the best Federal Reserve chairman in the modern time?
Well, they brought different strengths. Paul Volcker really was courageous in staying with his policy that was very, very unpopular until it succeeded. Of course, I love Alan Greenspan's wisdom. I spent all my 14 years on the committee with him as chairman. And Ben Bernanke has really surprised me with his creativity in dealing with unprecedented situations. But I guess my heart is with Greenspan.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, Dan Clifton, look, I worked for Volcker once upon a time, stayed in touch down through the years. I believe he's the greatest central banker. In fact, I believe he's the greatest central banker since the Federal Reserve was created in 1913 because he basically eliminated a 15% inflation rate, which was destroying the economy and the financial markets and every other darn thing. And he did it against great political opposition. Reagan was for him. But builders were coming at him with 2x4s. People were picketing. They were marching on the Fed. I mean, that took, I believe the word is chutzpah. That took chutzpah for Volcker to do it, or character. What's your quick take?
Well, that's absolutely correct. Just compare it to today. We're worried about tapering $10 billion or $15 billion, and he had to break the back of inflation. It took a very different type of person to do it, and I think he'll be regarded as one of the best central bankers ever, if not the best. And I think at some point we're going to need somebody like him, and it's going to be very hard to find in the future.